Beautiful downtown Portland, Oregon. It's not really beautiful right now. It's actually pouring down rain outside. I'm not even going to lie about that. Hello, everyone. This is Digital Trends Live. Thank you so much for joining us today. Of course, broadcasting live on Periscope, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch, bringing you your daily tech headlines and interviews, all kinds of things. And let's run down the docket of what we've got today. In just a little bit, we're going to be heading to our New York studio. So we're here in Portland. We do have our New York studio to head to, where Felicia is going to be talking about a brand new game, Gear Unlimited 2, which just came out. And she's going to have actually a rep in there talking about that, Chris Rosario, hopping there in the New York studio. We will also have a giveaway that I will tell you about. Free stuff. Who doesn't like free stuff? We've got free stuff for that game that we're going to be giving away here at some point on the show. I'll walk you through how you can win that. A little bit later, we're going to be heading live to Tokyo, where we're going to be talking to Ian Williams of Deadstock. Ian was on the show. It was a little bit while ago now, but Ian was on talking about his coffee shop, and he's got a stand-up over there in Tokyo. So we're going to discuss with him what he's seen so far, what it's like over there, and then we have a very special guest who's going to be hopping on because we have our 2018 holiday gift guide, which just came out here from Digital Trends. Every year, it's a really big deal. We go through, I mean, just like we do with Black Friday and Cyber Monday, go through hours and hours and hours and hours and hours finding the best gifts and the best deals for the holiday season. And we have our gift guide that just came out, and the artwork for it is incredible. And we're going to have G. Staughton, who's from HouseSpecial. So G's going to hop on to talk about everything that they did in creating this amazing gift guide. We'll show you pictures of that, all of that coming up here as well on today's edition of Digital Trends Live. I'm Greg Nibbler, and here joining me in studio today is Nicole Rainey. Hello, Nicole.
Hello. Good morning.
Thank you so much with your 7 minutes of notice that Nicole hopped in here. So I do appreciate that. And as I said, you know, since we are live, we do want to hear your comments and questions. So let us know. And I think there's not much we can do here except for go to the biggest breaking news story that we have in all of tech right now. And I'm very, very pleased to bring this to you right now, the biggest tech headline. Remember Billy Bass?
Oh, I remember Billy Bass.
Billy Bass, the talking fish, is now available as an Alexa device. Yes, an Alexa-enabled Billy Bass fish is now available. Seriously, this was the #1 trending story on Google today for tech.
I totally understand why. I mean, look at this. I didn't even know that I needed this in my life.
No.
But I'm so glad somebody's been able to fill this hole.
Somebody did this. Yes.
Every home is missing something.
It really is.
It wasn't, you know, a color-changing light bulb. It wasn't a smart thermometer. No. None of the amazing smart home tech that we cover all the time at Digital Trends.
None
it
of
was
that
this.
None of that did it for you. Do you even have? Do you have a smart home device at all?
No. That's what I was telling you right before we went live. Is this is going to be my first investment? Obviously, it's got to be this. You know, I hadn't invested in Alexa yet, but if it's going to sting to me as a big mouth Billy Bass, then of course I want it.
I mean, who doesn't want that? And that's the thing. Like you said, like that's one of the things where I didn't know that I needed this, but yes, I need it. Yeah. I absolutely want it. So it's a Billy Bass, so it actually does use Alexa's voice, and you can talk to it, and it will mimic everything. It'll even sing songs from you know, the Echo device from Alexa. There's just, actually, it doesn't do anything really different than it did before. It just sings the songs along with it. But it does speak in Alexa's voice.
So do you need an Alexa or an Echo to pair with it, or is it like the Alexa's inside the bass?
Inside the bass. Alexa's been swallowed by the bass. So no, you do have to have an Echo device.
Okay.
But it's on sale now. We've got a link right there for I believe it is $39.99 that you can pick this up. I mean, I'll say this. We were talking about it here before we started the show, and Jake, producer of the show, already bought one. So you can pre-order it. I think it ships in a couple of days, and you can get that already. I was thinking about, what other things would you want to see as an Alexa-enabled device? And like I was thinking, like some of the things that are more creepy, like along the lines of like a Furby.
That was
a Furby.
You didn't even get that sentence out, and that's exactly what I
thought of. You thought of?
Yeah, like being able to connect that with your toys.
Yes.
That would be terrifying.
Yes, absolutely. That's why I want one.
Oh God, no.
Alexa-enabled Furbies are creepy.
I'm out.
I don't know if you remember Furbies.
Yes, I do.
Talk about that too long, but yeah, Furbies are totally creepy.
Big mouth Billy Bass, yes. Furby, no.
Furby, no. That's where you
hard
draw the
no.
line.
Hard pass.
Hard pass on the Furby. All right. Well, again. Breaking tech news, Billy Bass now available as an Alexa-enabled device. So you can pick that up right now by clicking the link as you're watching here on Digital Trends. Teddy Ruxpin, another one. totally, that would be great. I want that as well.
Oh, I don't know.
This is gonna make for a surge. Oh yeah.
Oh no.
There's the Furby.
Oh no.
Yes.
No.
That has to happen. All right. Somebody's got to get on that tech because they're gonna make a ton of money right now on this Billy Bass one. All right. Let's go on and talk about our Read 'em and Weep segment where we take a look at the comments, the questions, the things that have come through that you've said to us over the last 24 hours or so across our different videos and social media platforms. I don't take a look at these ahead of time. I read them as we go through it. So let's go ahead and see what we have here for our first one, for our Read 'em and Weep segment. Mario Ricardo Baez talking about Alexa-enabled Billy Bass. Available for pre-order. So this is how it all ends. I know it does seem kind of fitting that this would be like the downfall, because everybody gets this and everybody's all into the Billy Bass, and then now, yeah, there's some kind of secret motive behind it.
Yeah, could you imagine kind of a Terminator-style Judgment Day scenario in which like the revolution starts with Big Mouth Billy Bass?
Billy Bass.
They just all kind of like turn towards you, and they're just like, "Y'all are over." That would be terrifying.
Now, yes, and then they all speak at one time.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna back you up, Mario. I think this might be the end of times.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter. Like, we're gonna be okay with it. All right, so that was Mario's comment. I think that was on Facebook where that one came through. Let's take a look. We have Alex Barella regarding the Alexa-enabled Smart Bass.
Wow, they missed an opportunity for naming the device there.
That is really good. I mean, there is a whole, those like life-changing things when it comes to tech where it's like, okay, this is a big deal. This is a big day. Like when the iPhone came out, that's kind of what we're dealing with right now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's that kind of day. Smart Bass is perfect. I can't even top that. There's nothing else that we can say. Alex, good job.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Alex. Thank you, Alex. All right, so we've got Mr. Lion Guerrero. Mr. Lion. I wonder if he gave himself that name.
I'm gonna say yes.
I kind of doubt that somebody was like, dude, you're like Mr. Lion.
Yeah.
And gave you that name. Yeah. You can't give yourself your own nickname, Mr. Lion. But nonetheless, the Asus ROG phone review. I love the phone. I didn't like the review. Sorry. All caps. Well, what can you say? You're not gonna knock them all out of the park. I don't know who did that review, but that's okay. You still watched it, so we appreciate it.
Thank you.
Keep coming back. Maybe you'll find one that you like. Moving on. Let's see. We've got so from Mr. Lion Guerrero, Mr. Lion, IJ Matusiak regarding the Alexa-enabled Billy Bass is available for pre-order. This is like I said, this is like a watershed moment in technology. Another stupid gadget that will be used for espionage. If they went through all the trouble, then this is really just a big conspiracy involving Billy Bass for espionage. They deserve to win.
How terrifying would it be, though, if you had one and, you're walking across the room and then all of a sudden you just kind of notice it's following you?
Oh.
Oh,
it's like...
Yeah. And then you look and then it's just like, nope. And then it like lays back down.
Oh, man, there's a horror movie
maybe he's onto something here, too.
Yeah, I think, Nicole's on board with pretty much all of these comments.
All the Big Mouth Billy Bass conspiracy theories. Hit me up.
Big Bass conspiracies. All right, so there we go. That was IJ. Another stupid gadget that will be used for espionage. You sound like you're a lot of fun. All right, Justin McEwen. Regarding Apple versus Pepper, the Supreme Court could rule that Apple's App Store is a monopoly. That is true. I was reading about this. But Justin replies, this is so stupid. The reason why apps work so well is because they have to be approved by Apple. You don't want to use the App Store, then go buy an Android for half the price. In a way, I kind of agree with that. I am an Android user, and so I do use the Google Play Store, and there does end up being a lot of spam apps in there.
Yes, it's a little bit harder to sort of wade through the options.
Yeah.
Not that it's a bad thing. I also am an Android user, so I don't mind it. I like having that open kind of market store place to look for stuff. But yeah, I think that's just the benefit of Apple, when you're comparing the two.
Right.
But I don't know much about monopoly law either.
Just that. Yeah, I agree. I don't know about it being a monopoly. That just seems kind of...
Yeah, this is something where I feel like I'd have to read up a little bit more on the implications of that. I'm admittedly not very well read when it comes to that kind of business law.
Well,
but my instinct seems no. And then, it's like if you're complaining about it, then why not, turn to one of the many other options or alternatives to Apple?
Yeah, you do have other options. And I'm taking a look here. Jeremy Kaplan hopping in there on YouTube. There's too many apps on both stores. Sad fact. That is also true as well. There are a lot of apps. the Android store in particular, our Google Play store, however you want to call it, yeah, there are a lot of bad apps in there. There was just actually a story on that came out about a bunch of people downloaded these spam apps. Yeah, that totally took over your account. So, but that's the deal. So that's what's going on with that. So that's what they were referencing. Good comment on there. So I think that's it for Read 'em and Weep. Let's go on to a couple other stories that we have here today. Some other tech headlines before we end up heading out to New York with Felicia Miranda, who's going to be talking to Chris Rosario about the new game that is called Gear Club Unlimited 2 for the Nintendo Switch. And we're going to be having a giveaway associated with that as well. So stay tuned, and I will let you know how you can win free stuff. Free stuff, free stuff. Say it again, free stuff. All right, let's talk about Elon Musk. We're talking about future technology like Billy Bass. Let's get to Elon Musk and his Boring Company. So I'm sure a lot of you know about this, that Elon Musk is planning or would like to construct some tunnels for a new system of transportation that would go underneath, several cities. That's what he's bidding for right now, but in particular, LA. LA is one where I think that's on December 10th. He's going to even have one where you can, the public can go there and actually try this thing out, a little bit of a test track. But he was already on the path to digging a tunnel in LA underneath one of the freeways, along the 405 freeway. However, that has now been halted. So the Boring Company getting a bit of a setback, a pretty big setback actually, due to some neighborhood organizations that complained about the tunnel going under their neighborhoods, which I thought was kind of, I mean, it's not like you would really have to deal with as much construction, I would think, since it's going underneath. I don't know. However, their complaint has to do with the fact that it was going to be a test track as well, and they said that city officials had said a review wasn't necessary regarding environmental laws, since the tunnel was for test purposes and therefore not designed to carry passengers. The community groups got together, complained about it, and put the squash on that. So, I don't know. I understand concerns about environmental laws, and that's true if there's a big issue. At the same time, this seems like in the end, this would be helping the environment by taking more cars off of the road. Am I wrong on that? Am I looking at this the wrong way?
No, I think you're looking at it the right way, because obviously LA is a perfect example of when traffic issues become a really serious issue. Like it impacts like not just like getting to work, but it's your way of life, right? So obviously we need to be exploring alternative transportation or alternatives to transportation. Yeah. But I mean, I feel like if we're going to be doing something like literally digging underneath people's properties, then reviews are called for. Yeah.
So they should have done a more extensive review, you think?
Or maybe some more education about the process. You know, like if these neighborhoods are complaining about it and protesting about it, maybe they need to be better educated about the benefits and the impact of it.
That's a good point. Yeah. So, all right, Nicole, knocking it out of the park here. They are going to continue on. So while they're abandoning the plan for that, it would have been called the Sepulveda Tunnel. They're now turning to a construction of a 3.5-mile tunnel that would run west from Dodger Stadium. So essentially to take you to Dodger Stadium. They think from downtown is where it would end up going. So they are still working on that one. So that's still a plan that's in the works, but they don't have official approval on that one yet either. So we'll see where this all ends up. But like I said, December 10th, you can, supposedly, they're saying you can still go down there and they will have a section of a test run for the Boring Tunnel that they'll allow the public to ride on. So free rides through the tunnel on December 10th. I wonder if I'm hoping Digital Trends is sending somebody down there. If not, I think Digital Trends live from the Boring Tunnel would be a great idea.
Hint, hint.
Hint, hint. Yes, broadcasting live from the tunnel back and forth all day. Yeah.
But then we're going to be hearing like, oh man, this is really and then just as you fade off.
It's got to all the voices will have to be like the voices on the subway the entire time. That's what we'll have to do. All right, so we got that. So that's the Elon Musk story. Continuing down in LA, the LA Auto Show is about to begin, and we do have a lot of coverage going on at Digital Trends, but of course, just like every kind of convention or a major event, there's a lot that's already out. A lot of stuff has already been shown, and there's a lot that you can follow at Digital Trends, but I did want to bring up this one just because I really love the tech angle, and it ties into autonomous vehicles, which we know are going to happen eventually. And this one in particular has to do with Volvo teaming up with Luminar LiDAR. Luminar LiDAR. Say that 10 times fast. And this new kind of LiDAR's nothing new, but this new version that Luminar is working on claims to be can see about 10 times further than current LiDAR. So this, they're saying that they can see objects 250 yards away, which I think is going to be very important as we get into autonomous vehicles, especially traveling on the freeway and going, at high speeds. It's going to need to see pretty far out.
Yeah. This is something I'm still like a little bit confused about because I didn't really know much about this before I came on here. So what exactly is LiDAR?
So LiDAR, and I'm going to do my best to explain this. LiDAR is essentially it's using light to map. It's kind of like radar, only using light.
Wow.
Yeah, I think to put it real simple.
Okay, that's amazing.
Yeah, so it'll map out the environment in front of it, and this is going to be so sensitive, though. What's kind of neat about this, again, LiDAR's been used for a while, and there's the test car. That's the Volvo 360C, their concept car of what the autonomous vehicle might look like. They even show on the inside, we'll see as we go through the pictures, how it would have no steering wheels, no pedals. You would just sit in it. And it's just a room that you go to work in.
Is it weird that I still want my autonomous vehicle to have a steering wheel?
Yeah,
kind of like, like Kit from Knight Rider still had the full like real setup on the inside just in case, right? So
yeah. I mean, you could get your own little horn. It'd be
there you go.
Yeah, I mean, this would, in theory, though, you would not be doing anything. They show sitting there drinking coffee on the way to work, which I gotta admit does sound kind of nice in that aspect. So this new LiDAR, though, like I said, seeing 10 times greater than what is currently being used, and so much so that it would be able to distinguish between, it should be able to distinguish that a human is walking down the road, but it can also even distinguish like down to like the arm level. It'll be like, oh, that is a human arm. That person is sitting. This person is standing, which again, it should be able to do that if we're going to be going forward with autonomous cars on the road.
Yeah, because if somebody's walking across the road versus like sitting on a bench or something like that, then your needs, if you're trying to avoid a collision, would obviously be very different.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, that's important. And so the Luminar founder and CEO, Austin Russell, said that, it's talking about that. And this article's at digitaltrends.com, talking about how they'd be able to identify body parts like arms and legs, and yes, tell if somebody's sitting or walking across the road. I thought that was a pretty interesting use of the technology because as the more and more autonomous vehicles and that we start seeing as they do start coming out, eventually full autonomy is the goal. And there's Volvo's saying that by 2021 is when they want to have an autonomous vehicle without pedals or a steering wheel.
Wow. I had to do
That's really soon.
Yeah, I was like, I had to do some quick math, but
whether that actually happens,
like 2 years.
Yeah, essentially. Yeah,
that's
essentially
crazy.
2 years is what they're claiming. Again, we'll have to see if that actually does happen that soon. Companies make promises all the time, but they are definitely going full bore for it. Taking a look here in the chat, and again, we are broadcasting live, so we can take a look at everything that you're saying. That people are going back to the tunnel, talking about the El Chapo tunnel. Extend that one. I don't know if that tunnel's still there or not, but I did just watch Narcos. All right, so Stevie says, do that fancy elevated bus system that China is researching for the LA traffic. I know what you're talking about with that fancy bus system that China was talking about. Basically, it was a giant, like 2-lane wide bus that would ride over traffic. It would have its own track, so cars would drive under it. I don't think that came to fruition, though. I believe there were some setbacks on that, or if it was ever even really going to be made anyway. But you can check that all out, digitaltrends.com. All right, let's do one more here before I believe we're going to be heading to New York shortly to talk to Felicia Miranda and her guest, Chris Rosario, about Gear Unlimited 2 for the Nintendo Switch. So we will have that giveaway, and I'll tell you how we're going to run that giveaway here in just a second. The other story that I want to get to, let's skip ahead, and we'll talk about this military purchase. And I thought this was a pretty remarkable thing when it comes to augmented reality. Now, augmented reality, Microsoft HoloLens is their version of this, kind of one of the leading ones, I would say, probably the most name recognition when it comes to augmented reality glasses. And so the real fascinating thing right now is they've created apparently about 50,000 of these so far. Well, the military, the Army in particular, has just awarded Microsoft a $480 million contract for 100,000 headsets.
Wow.
Yeah, that's huge. I mean, that means the military is $480 million investing into this.
Wow.
To augmented reality headsets.
I mean, that's definitely one way to get more sets into production if you have the military who puts it in order.
Yeah, and we're showing kind of a demonstration here that Microsoft had put out, just demonstrating what a workplace would look like. But in particular, the military going into this means it means, I mean, they're thinking of this as a much broader thing that they want to use. And what they said is that they want to be able to incorporate night vision and thermal sensing. They want to be able to measure vital signs like breathing and, quote, readiness. They want to monitor for concussions, hearing protection. So they're looking at this as a brand new, basically taking it to war. And I mean, if we want to really get down to it, they said purchasing over 100,000 headsets is intended to increase lethality by enhancing the ability to detect, decide, and engage before the enemy.
Wow.
Yeah.
But no word yet on how many big mouth Billy Bass Alexa-enabled devices that the U.S. military wants to purchase.
I think clearly every soldier needs to be issued one.
Yes.
And this is it's got to be
HoloLens, Big Mouth Bass.
Yes. Absolutely, that's how that needs to happen, and so I think we've got that narrowed down. So let's see. I'm going to double check. Just we can continue talking about this. Are we ready to go to New York? Just asking the production booth in the back. If we are, okay, we are not ready. So let's keep on talking about this here for a minute. So talking about the HoloLens, I personally have been really excited about augmented reality for a while. I think it's more exciting than VR.
I would have to agree with you on that because it's sort of the idea of rather than entering a fake environment, you're adding things to your existing environment.
Yeah, it's overlaying over the top of it.
But we were talking about this with some of the women on the digital trend staff about how sometimes the implications of augmented and virtual reality can be a little scary when you're altering your environment. Like for example, like something like Google glasses or whatever, you know, like something that maybe you wear all the time that's supposed to create sort of like an augmented reality experience for you, like a game maybe where you're, you know, like playing Pac-Man in the streets or whatever it is. That's a little terrifying because it sort of strips away your awareness of the surrounding world. You know, so that's
true.
And so I'm thinking about this, like the military implications, like being in the field and relying on this kind of technology to augment your observations and like what happens when that technology fails or something's wrong.
Right,
or like
you become accustomed to that so much, yeah, that you're unable to interact with your environment in the way that you're used to.
Yeah, and it seems like it's such a great idea for training and everything. I just wonder what I'm not smart enough to understand like the implications of what it would mean to rely on that kind of technology in the field.
Yeah. I mean, it seems almost like this is a Black Mirror episode.
Oh, for sure. I mean, every other...
I'm pretty sure there is a Black Mirror episode that's about something like this.
I mean, pretty much every other day of digital trends, we could say, oh, that's a Black Mirror episode. Yep,
yeah,
that could happen.
There's that one. Yep, that makes sense. But yeah, comparing it to virtual reality, and since we are live right now, you know, let's go ahead and bring this out to the people that are watching. You know, are you excited about the idea of augmented reality? Because you bring up the Google Glass thing, and you know that really didn't click well with many people at all. But this idea of the HoloLens is something, for me personally, like I said, I'm very excited about it. Taking a look here in the chat, Jeremy just said, am I wrong, or did the U.S. Army just become the single biggest consumer of AR in the world? Yeah, I'm pretty sure that is the case. I mean, because they had sold, and I'm going to double check on that, but I believe they've only moved 50,000 units total, and that's probably mostly to developers previous to this, or maybe they've only manufactured that much. So yeah, they've got to be. Yeah, the biggest consumer of AR in the world, and if they're doubling down on this, they really see something in it. And 480 million, even though it is the military budget, that's not a small amount. That's a very public. We're spending 480 million on making on outfitting our soldiers with this. Do
we know how, like, what the difference would be between like a consumer version and then obviously like a military version?
That's a good question.
Camo coloring?
Yeah, right. Yeah, you get the different options. You get the Billy Bass add-on. I don't know. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of proprietary things that we won't know about until these things.
And then some of the things you mentioned already, like night vision and things like that, I'm assuming that's not something the everyday consumer needs. Right. Although I would want that.
I want it too. I want it. We want everything that was just shown on here. All right, we are going to get ready now to head over to our New York studio. Nicole, thanks for hopping in here today.
Yeah, of course.
Joining us. This is always fun. Like I said, we're broadcasting live, Twitch, Periscope, YouTube, and Facebook. And we're here in Portland, Oregon, but it is time to go to our New York studio, where we're going to be joined by Felicia Miranda and Chris Rosario to talk about the new game, Gear Club Unlimited 2 for the Nintendo Switch. We've got the games in there. We are going to have a giveaway. Actually, I'll let Felicia explain that here in just a second. But let's head over there now and find out about the new game. Hello, New York.
Hey, Hey everyone, I'm Felicia and I'm the gaming editor at Digital Trends. I'm joined here today with Chris Rosario, and he's going to tell us a little bit about Gear Club Unlimited 2, which is coming out soon exclusively for the Nintendo Switch. We're also going to be doing a giveaway at the end of this segment, so make sure you stick around so you can get a copy of the game. So Gear Club Unlimited 2, for those of you who don't know, it's a sequel to Gear Club Unlimited that also released on the Nintendo Switch, and it's going to release with over 50 licensed cars with realistic driving controls, and they're also adjustable to suit your skill level. So if you don't like the realistic driving controls and you like something more arcadey, you can also get that as well. We're going to talk a little bit about that. So can you tell me why exclusively for the Nintendo Switch? Usually we see racers on other platforms.
So the team originally actually did want to play in or make a multi-platform release for Gear Club Unlimited back when the first one was coming out. Then they saw the Switch dev kits and they were really enticed by the technology behind the Switch and the fact that nobody else is really shooting for a sim racer on the platform.
Yeah.
So they decided to really capitalize on that feature for the game.
Yeah, I think as far as I know, I can only think of Mario Kart when it comes to racers on the Nintendo Switch. So when we talk about realistic driving controls, that's a very interesting concept for racers. I usually see more of an arcade style. What made you guys go with something like that?
So talking about the driving, it's great because it really starts off with the cars. We've got 51 cars in the game, and they're each tuned accurately to represent their real-world equivalent.
Oh, wow.
So it starts with the cars, and then from there the team takes their specs and translates them into the digital representation. After that, the players have a lot of options when it comes to tuning the controls to their individual demands of a racing game. If they want a more arcade-like game, there are driving assists that they can use to alter the controls to make it easier to brake, easier to turn or accelerate. And then if they want to turn those off, that option's available too. Additionally, we have the motion control that simulates the steering wheel using the rotation of the controller or the Joy-Cons. And that's also a really great way to control the game. So we really want to capture that driving experience and move it over to the Switch.
Yeah, we actually got to preview the game a little bit here, and we tried out the motion controls. And there's a little bit of a learning curve there, guys. So, but it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun if you're okay with crashing and reversing, which is something that I thought was very cool. You guys kind of have this reversal mechanic. So if you mess up in a race, you can kind of backtrack and do it over again. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's just one of the features that we have. Additionally, we have racing lines that appear. They change color to show you if you're too fast or too slow to take on a turn.
Oh, yeah.
Or, and again, you can turn those off if you feel like you're comfortable with your lines by yourself. And then the other assists, like the drive, like the other features that I've explained.
Yeah. Those are assists that I need because I am terrible at driving games. So there's also a big level of customization. So we have over 50 licensed cars, so you can basically choose the car of your dreams. What kind of cars can we expect, and what is the level of customization that you can have with those cars?
So the cars in the game, as I've mentioned, there's 51 different cars. We've got American, Asian, and European manufacturers, and they run the gamut. Like, you can experience an extreme variety of cars here. You'll get your Camaros and Mustangs representing the American muscle. You've got imports like Nissan, Porsche, and Mini, and then all the way up to supercars. You'll see Bugatti Veyrons in the game.
Wow.
McLaren has a host of vehicles in the game.
That's the one I actually messed around with. It was pretty nice.
There's really something for everybody here. So you can really live out that car fantasy that you want. And speaking of the fantasy, that takes us into the performance shop. The player has like a career base of operations that is their garage, and they can have a variety of performance shops within there that give them access to different customization features. For example, there's the wind tunnel that you can use to test the aerodynamics of your car and make improvements on that. There's the body shop that you can use to make the chassis lighter. There's the graphics shop. You can get
that was
a variety
fun.
of colors and the amazing livery editor. There really is just a tremendous degree of customization, and not only in the cars, but also in the shop itself. You can customize the aesthetic, plant decorations around to really make it feel like you're home away from home in the game.
Yeah, that was an interesting thing that we got to play around with a little bit. So if you want a garage that looks more like retro, you can do that. If you want more of a factory style shop, you can do that. There's a lot of customization in this game, and I think that's pretty cool because you can tailor it to suit your own preferences. Now, as for gameplay, what kind of modes can we expect with Gear Club Unlimited 2? I think you were telling me that the first one only had like a campaign, but this one is drastically different.
Yes, there are an amazing amount of new features in this game, improvements over the first one. The three main modes you'll see are the career mode, where you'll get your single player progression. You've got local multiplayer and online multiplayer. The races themselves are also really varied. We've got a few different types. There's the Derby, which is a standard collision on, everybody's on the road race. Everybody's trying to get first. Only one's going to get it. And then Time Attack, where you race the ghosts of other cars with collisions off. So you can really just focus on your own time for that race. My personal favorite, the third type, is almost like a battle royale of races, where it's called Last Man Standing, and it's a normal derby race, except after a set period of time, the person in last place just gets knocked right out of the race, right off the track. And it makes for some really dramatic encounters.
Oh yeah, we actually played a little bit of that one with the motion controls. You can imagine how intense that was. All right, so we did talk about a little bit about what makes this one different from the first, but I think you were talking about that there's a different engine for this one, or an upgraded version of the first one?
Yes, one of the main improvements over the first game is a new Unity 2 engine. So this engine gives us incredible graphical capabilities. We're really squeezing all the power we can out of the Switch. It gives us much better graphics, much bigger levels. We've got over 250 different tracks that span over 1,800 miles of road, asphalt and rally tracks. So that'll be dirt track driving if you're unfamiliar with it. And we also have a brand new multiplayer feature. So new to the sequel is not only local multiplayer, but online multiplayer as well. In local, you can play up to 4 people split screen, or 8 people with networked Switch consoles. And you can play up to 12 other racers synchronously online in multiplayer. Wow.
That's awesome. I love local. I think people should do more local in games. All right, so we're going to do our code giveaway now. So if you're interested in getting a free copy of Gear Club Unlimited 2 for the Nintendo Switch, here's what you'll need to do. First, you will need to follow us on Facebook and subscribe to us on YouTube. Take screenshots of those follows and send them to our email at dtlive@digitaltrends.com. And then we'll randomly pick 4 people who sent those screenshots, and you'll get a free copy of the game. So make sure you do that. Also, last but not least, when can players get their hands on Gear Club Unlimited 2?
Definitely the best part of this. The Gear Club 2 Unlimited is available next week. That's December 4th, Tuesday. That's when everybody will be able to get their hands on this lovely race for the Switch.
Yes. All right. So we're going to wrap up over here in New York, and we're going to send it back to Portland. So, Greg, hello, Portland.
Hello, Felicia. Thank you so much. That is great. So that's Felicia and Chris talking about Gear Club Unlimited 2 and giving you all the details on that. So it sounds like it's going to be available next week, I believe is what he just said, but we have the giveaways now. So just to reiterate how that giveaway is going to work, here's what you need to do. Write down this email address, which you should have anyway, which is dtlive@digitaltrends.com. Take a screen cap showing that you like the Digital Trends Facebook page and that you subscribe to our YouTube channel. That's it. Just like the Facebook page, screen cap. Like subscribe to the channel, screen cap. Send us those 2 images via email, and we will pick 4 people that will get to win this game basically ahead of its release. So Gear Club Unlimited 2 for the Switch. Get that all taken care of, and you could be one of our winners. I did see a couple of other notes came in. Somebody was asking about who won or if we gave away that television on Monday, if we picked the winner. We did pick the winner. It was Larry Yang, I believe, won that Samsung television. So that one's out, but you still have time to get the video game. All right, coming up here in just a couple of minutes, we're going to be talking to G. Staughton of HouseSpecial. He's the creative director, the art director over there, and we're going to be talking to him about our brand new holiday gift guide. We are really, really proud of this, and the artwork on it is phenomenal. So we're going to talk to him about the whole process with that. We'll show you what some of it looks like. I believe it just came out yesterday, so this is brand new, and we'll walk you through that process and talk all about it. And as usual, take your comments and your questions. Drop those in there. We're live on YouTube, Periscope, Facebook, and Twitch, in addition to being at digitaltrends.com. So let us know what you want to discuss, and we'll talk all about that here in just a couple of minutes with more Digital Trends Live. We are back here with Digital Trends Live. Thank you for joining us live on YouTube, Facebook, Periscope, and Twitch. And we are very excited now to talk about our Digital Trends Holiday Gift Guide. This is something that basically the entire staff here at Digital Trends works very hard at this all year long. But in particular, this year, we've taken some really interesting directions with it. And I have one of the fantastic people behind the art this year, G. Staughton from HouseSpecial. Hello, G.
Hi, how you doing?
Doing well. Thank you so much for hopping in here. I have to say, just behind the scenes, no one has ever had so many people taking pictures of him as G does right now. There's a paparazzi in here taking pictures of G. So just to give you a little bit behind the camera. But G, let's talk about this. I have to point out what's just sitting here on the desk in front of us, like your lovely computer that you have there.
Well, yeah, but you have your laptop. I figured I should bring my desk to work. Just so that I can,
absolutely. I assume that's
questions.
just how it is. Like you carry this everywhere you go. And
Oh,
just
totally.
On the Macs,
Yeah.
typing on this. Well, let's show some images of this holiday gift guide because I want to walk through this from the beginning. Talk about what you do. Maybe we should talk about that first. So you're the art director at HouseSpecial.
Yes.
So for everybody watching, what is HouseSpecial?
HouseSpecial is an animation company. We specialize in all forms of animation and storytelling and character design. And we are here in Portland with you guys.
Nice. How did you get into this?
Wow. Once upon a
go way
time.
back.
Yeah, all the way back. I guess once upon a time, I used to build models as a kid, and I didn't realize there was any kind of industry that meant that you could do that as a career. So I went off and I became an interior designer and realized that actually I met a few people who worked in animation, and I thought, oh, well, then I should stop doing this.
Yeah.
So I quit that, and I met a few people and kind of made my way in from the bottom and worked my way up.
Wow, congratulations.
Yeah.
That's great. Working your way in, like finding out what you love to do.
I think so, yeah.
And something that you loved as a child and be able to turn that in and be like, oh, sweet, I can make a career out of this.
Right, and not be afraid to just kind of switch halfway through something.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that takes some risk. Well, we have the holiday gift guide. Let's start with that. And we have some images too that we're going to show everybody. But of course, just go to digitaltrends.com and click there on the gift guide. Take a look through the entire thing. There's lots of amazing products that are on there that you can pick out. But where did it all start from? This idea of what what became the holiday gift guide?
We had a conversation with Digital Trends. He came to visit us, and we talked through just like the vision for it, which was to try and maybe make a world that would have little scenarios, but then you would realize that the world itself is built from some of the products that you might display. And there was a lot of conversations, but I think right from that first meeting, it felt like this was going to be like a fun project.
Yeah, this was going to be the idea.
Yeah,
Is
right
take,
from the get-go.
Take those products and create that world around it, which you did amazingly. I mean, it is absolutely, it's beautiful what you created. But I mean, where do you go from? I get that there's that concept. Clearly, I do not have the vision to see this kind of thing through. Like, what do you do from that? You know, how did you decide that these are the models we're going to use, or we're going to create these miniatures, and what kind of scenes you created?
Well, we had themes that you can now see on the website. So we had those themes to work with, and then there was a short list of products that felt like they were maybe the sort of top 10 that would fit in that category. And then there was kind of just big brain thinking, you know, just a lot of people sitting there going, well, what does this look like?
Right.
Because
let's take this Echo, Amazon Echo device. And that kind of looks like a tower.
Some of them, it felt like right away you think, well, if this is all like audio equipment, what about if we do like a gig scene? That would be pretty cool. And then once we had that in front of the camera, we were thinking, well, what about if we put like a whole crowd of people in here? That would make it all the more fun. And the more people we could put in, the more we could hide little extra scenarios, so that like when you look at them, you can kind of hunt around and find all the little people that we put in there.
Yeah, and there's there's a whole bunch of Easter eggs basically in each one of these. Because I was kind of going through it. I still need to go through a bunch of them. In particular, the one you're talking about with the concert performance. That is really cool. Down to the fact that you have the camera crews that are filming it in there.
I've got some of the camera crews in here. Like that's. I don't imagine you can see that on camera.
No, it's probably not. It is tiny. That is the actual camera. So, and that's the other thing I wanted to discuss. Like, because you're using the actual products, you had to make this so small to make it work. Are these all, I'm assuming, hand built by you guys?
Yeah,
or?
there's some characters and some little elements that you can get that work at like model railroad scale. So if we could find things that we could adapt, then that worked really well. But for the most part, we're coming up with a scene that no one puts like a sort of a cookery class in the model railroad scene, so we had to make everything, which is part of what we do.
And we're taking a look here. So he's got a little bin with a whole bunch of assuming the characters.
Like
these tiny little.
These are the guys.
Space guys?
Yeah,
spacemen. Space guys. That's an official term.
I wish you could say space guys.
Space guys.
Space team, I think.
Yes.
There we go. That's how big they are.
That is so tiny.
I got tiny hands, but
so you
they're really small.
I have giant hands. I smash them. So you created these different characters and these different scenes, and then you piece these together. And how long does it take to photograph something like that?
It depends. I guess it takes a while because we have a lighting and camera team. So we're going to want to make sure that everything looks as perfect as we want it to be. I think we spent quite a few days, maybe 3-4 days shooting the 6 scenes that we did. Just because you think, well, what about if that light was purple instead of green?
Yeah.
You just want a few options. You want to see, maybe you move a tiny miniature bird just over to the left a little bit and see if that works better.
Man, I'm taking a look here, too, at some of the comments coming through on Facebook. Joe says, finally a replacement for the Sears Christmas catalog. Alexandria Klauser, it's absolutely outstanding. Yeah, and I think as everybody gets a chance to look at this, since it just came out, I mean, it really is amazing. Like fantastic. Yes, and in the background, once again, the paparazzi for G is dancing too. I just need to get a camera shot of this. I'll have to get that here.
I wish there was something pointing that way.
Yeah, right? So, well, G, I mean, this is just so incredible. I mean, fantastic work. Amazing.
Thank you.
And where do you go? Where can people follow the rest of your work, I guess?
Well, I guess everything that we do at HouseSpecial. So you can follow HouseSpecial on Instagram. At least is very happy that I mentioned that. And then I guess my own work is on Instagram at don'tfret.org. But yeah, and at HouseSpecial.
HouseSpecial. All right. Well, gee, thank you so much again.
Thank
the
you.
Digital Trends Holiday Gift Guide. Check that out right now. DigitalTrends.com. I mean, amazing, amazing work. And the whole team, I know, has spent a lot of time on this, and your artwork helped make this come to life. So thank you, G. Thanks for joining us.
All right,
and
thanks for having us.
we're going to go to break here for just a minute. I believe we might have Ian Williams from Deadstock joining us from Tokyo. I think we're trying to figure that out to make that happen. So we're going to take a quick break here on Digital Trends Live. Keep dropping your comments, your questions in there. And we'll be back in just a second with more of Digital Trends Live. Back here with Digital Trends Live, broadcasting live on Facebook, Periscope, Twitch, and YouTube. Drop your comments and questions in right there. All right, you've seen him on the show before, Ian Williams of Deadstock Coffee here from Portland, Oregon, but not in studio with us today because Ian is halfway around the world in Tokyo right now. Although I have to say the shot right now kind of looks like you're in a bunker somewhere since there's a wall behind you.
Yes.
On the run.
Yeah.
Clearly, Ian's on the lam. Ian, hello. Thanks for joining us.
What's up, everybody? How you doing?
What's
up, G? How you doing, Ben? It's good to see you again.
Good to see you, too. So, Deadstock Coffee, Portland staple. Now you're in Tokyo. Why are you out there in Tokyo right now?
We're actually in Tokyo serving coffee at a place called Chop Coffee. I guess I asked the owner, his name is Pike, about why it's called chop, and I guess he's a designer, and like to chop like is to cut, but to chop also is to stamp something. So it's like the stamp on the cup, and it means like to work hard. Yeah,
It's not like using a blade
kind
and
of like
chopping.
like get your chops. Yeah, yeah.
Got you. Well,
Yeah.
so what is Deadstock's connection to Chop Coffee in Tokyo?
I honestly have some good friends out here. My good friend Takeshi, who helps write the book True Portland. He does a lot of photography for it, which is a book for Japanese, to like a guide to Portland. And the connection with Portland and Tokyo is so crazy. I just one day was like, hey man, I'm really interested in, doing a pop up out there one day. And he was like, all right, cool. Well, when you want to do it? I told him when, and he was like, cool, let's get it. And he set it up for us. So it's been a great opportunity.
That is so
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, I love it here. We
now,
love it here.
have
And they
you-
love us here.
Have you been out to Tokyo before?
Yeah, I think this is my 4th or 5th time. Yeah.
Okay, so you're familiar with it.
I get a lot of inspiration. Oh yeah, very very familiar. Yeah.
Well, let's talk about maybe that inspiration side of it. I mean, because Tokyo, I mean, and I've never been there, but I mean, generally, you think of it as such a technologically advanced city.
Beyond, yeah.
And what? Well, let's talk about your inspiration. Like, what kind of things do you take inspiration from out there in Tokyo?
Man, it's crazy. For the people who have actually been to the coffee shop, you'll see that the coffee shop is actually very small, and Deadstock. And so this is a very small place. Like everything here is very tight. A space that's maybe 200, 300 square feet is actually a lot of space out here. And so the way that space is used here, the way that they pack as much information, as much technology, and as much access and community into a small space, going into a shop and seeing something that's maybe like, 4 seats or 8 seats is actually quite a bit.
Right.
But then also looking at the way that they use art, the way that they integrate technology into their spaces, whether it be like ordering from a vending machine, maybe that's how you get your ramen or that's how you get your latte. You just go up to a machine, you type in what you want, and then you turn in the tag, you turn in the receipt, and then the ramen comes to your table. It's extremely fast.
Wow.
Just looking at the way that a product is turned over and the way that customers are turned over within stores and just like all that inspiration, man. It's so crazy. And then it's great to be in a place where like you're appreciated for what you do, whether you're a janitor or if you are a designer or if you're a student or anything, man. It's just like everybody appreciates or everybody respects and honors each other's job. And it's great to be in a place where everyone accepts everyone for who they are.
That's really cool.
Crazy.
That's really fantastic. Back to what you're talking about as far as the space, I would imagine, and that's the other thing, you think of with Tokyo, it's like crowded, and you have to utilize that space a lot more. And you mentioned the technology side, and then you started talking about the vending machines. What's the craziest vending machine you've seen so far?
Yeah, the craziest vending machine. I don't know, man. There's as much as there's like great inspiration and a whole lot of appreciation for craft and what people do. I apologize if maybe it gets a little loud. There's a truck backing up right in front of me. I'm kind of sitting in like an alleyway.
Move if you have to.
It's 2:50 a.m. here right now.
Oh, I guess I should have asked that.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. And everybody who I'm staying with is sleeping, so I didn't want to burden them with this. But I still want to do this. I still want to be here for DT Live,
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. But no, along with all of that, there's a really serious and a little bit uncomfortable work culture here. So people work really, really hard, and then they go and party really, really hard. And oftentimes maybe they'll party so hard they'll end up like sleeping outside. And it's normal, men, women, but nobody bothers you. And then you wake up in the morning and you go to work, and you wear the same clothes. You're kind of a little hungover, but then you'll go to a vending machine and maybe buy like underwear and a toothbrush, and you'll change your underwear, brush your teeth, and go right back to work. So I've seen some pretty. I've seen like whole meals that you can purchase from the vending machine. It cooks it right there.
Wow.
And it cooks it individually, and you watch like a little video of it like doing it all together. It's crazy, man.
That's
it's
nuts.
Crazy.
That's efficient though. I mean, you just sleep.
I've seen some crazy stuff. It's very efficient.
I'm sure there's stuff that you don't even want to talk about on here that you've seen.
Yes.
Well, let's talk about when it comes to the coffee side of it. you know, you talk about inspiration. Is there anything in particular that, as far as how they drink coffee, how they drink coffee in Tokyo, that you want to take back over here?
You know, all of Asia really, but especially Tokyo, that I've noticed is very into dark roast. And the third wave coffee movement, which is the movement of coffee that we know now, you know, Stumptown and Blue Bottle and all those guys, is more like light or medium, and especially in Portland, like very serious on light roasted coffees. And you see a lot of people doing white coffees now, which are like barely roasted coffees. They call them white coffee. Um, you know, that movement is really big there, but here the coffee scene is actually still quite young. But because of technology and because of attention to detail that the Japanese have, coffee is moving. The coffee detail is moving very fast out here. But they're really serious about dark roast. And the way that we might see coffee that is generally a light roast, like an Ethiopian, a blend, or maybe a single origin Ethiopian, which is a coffee that's like from the same crop, that we might find like the lighter notes, like citrus or some sort of like you know, really bright coffee. Here they'll take it and they'll roast it super dark, and they'll mix it with a Brazil, and they'll also mix it with a Kenyan, and they'll also mix it with a Guatemalan. They make this crazy blend that sounds insane, but it tastes kind of chalky, if you ask me. Not my preference, but you go to any shop here and people are like, "Oh, this is phenomenal," you know. So it's just a different preference, different perspective. But also, you know, the milk here is different, so it makes the drinks taste different. We did our pop up. The first day of the pop up at Chop was yesterday, and our coffee tastes completely different. Even the ratios that they use for espresso, you know, we might use 20 grams of espresso to get 40 grams of like beans, like ground beans, to get 40 grams of espresso, like liquid. So we'll kind of do like a double or something close to that. They go 20 and 25. So they'll do 20 grams espresso, 25 grams of liquid. And I'm like, it's kind of angry, you know, but I was like, you know what, let's give it a try and let's see where we can meet in the middle. And actually turned out very, very good. And our whole milk in Portland is 3.25% milk fat. Here it's 3.6.
Wow.
And oftentimes, you know, because of the way that we process products in America, our stomachs can't really handle the milk. But here, I'm drinking super thick milk, having no problems in the world. And, you know, I'm eating ice cream all day. You know what I'm saying? The boy ain't bubbling, you know?
It sounds like an amazing time that you're having out there.
Yeah. Man, it's great.
I got two last questions, and then I think okay. First question is, any particular piece of technology that you've seen over there that that you would incorporate here?
I actually, from a long time ago, my first time in Japan, maybe 3 years ago, I really fell in love with the vending machines. So there's something I've actually secretly been working on a project to get vending machines in Portland.
Yes, I think that
it's a big one.
It would be a hit out here. Yeah, I guarantee. Yeah, people will go to the vending machine. All right, the final thing.
I'm going to try to walk us by a vending machine right as soon as we're closing out.
That was the next thing I was going to ask. I was like, as we're closing out, because I know, you know, since it's 2:50 in the morning over there, 3 a.m. in the morning, and thank you for hopping out to talk to us too. Could we just get a shot of Japan as we're walking out of this?
Yeah, man.
Awesome. And again, this is Ian Williams, Deadstock. And what's the best place to follow you online for people who aren't in Portland?
Oh, yeah, man. Instagram, at Deadstock Coffee, deadstockcoffee.com, and on Twitter, DeadstockPDX. I set that a long time ago and never really went back.
Nice.
Young vending machines.
Nice.
Look at all the coffees.
What is that? Just all coffees?
It's all coffees and teas.
Wow.
Yeah, and they're all like $1.25. You can actually also get them. This is crazy. You see the blue ones? The blue ones are cold, but the red ones are actually hot.
You can get hot coffee out of it. Oh, I see.
Yeah, you can get it. Yeah, hot coffee, hot tea out of the machine.
Yeah, that's a lot of variety.
On the time, it's maybe like 60 degrees right now or 50 outside. So a lot of times what people will do is they'll grab one of these hot ones, and then they'll walk with it in their pocket and keep their hands warm. And then when they get where they got to go, they'll drink the coffee.
I want that badly here.
Innovation.
You could be the vending machine baron of Portland.
Oh man, if I could.
Okay.
I would.
Now I need to get in on this with you.
Shot.
Awesome. Well, Ian, thank you so much for hopping on. We'll let you go.
Yeah. Hey, you need anything while I'm out here? What you need?
One of those teas. That'd be awesome.
Oh, that's guaranteed. I got you.
Sweet. All right.
Got you.
We're gonna have tea time in here when you get back.
Deal. We'll be like little toast. These
Yes.
cans are crazy. So yeah, the can design and everything like that, man. I'm telling you, this place is amazing. You got to come to Japan.
I need to get out there. I absolutely need to get out there.
For sure.
All right. Digital Trends live from Tokyo. We'll make that happen.
Let's do it.
All right, see you, Ian. All right, hello, everyone. Again, thank you for tuning into Digital Trends Live. We really appreciate it every day. Broadcasting live 9 a.m. Pacific, noon Eastern, 3 a.m. Tokyo. We are here bringing you all of the tech headlines that you need and great interviews. Talking about, at the beginning of the show, we're, of course, the breaking news, the Billy Bass, Alexa-enabled Billy Bass fish is now out there. So you can pick up that. We had Nicole Rainey in here talking about that. And then we went to New York to visit Felicia Miranda and Chris Rosario talking about Gear Club Unlimited 2. And I did see a question asking about that giveaway. We have 4 of those we're giving away for Gear Club Unlimited 2. The way you get the giveaway is this. You got a screen cap that you like Digital Trends Facebook page and screen cap that you subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're not asking too much. That's it. Get us screen caps of each of those and then email to dtlive@digitaltrends.com, dtlive@digitaltrends.com. We got 4 of those games. They're not even on sale yet that we're going to be giving away, and we'll pick 4 people who email in, random selection, that will get those games. So that's how you want to do that. Then continuing on the show, we had G. Staughton from HouseSpecial, one of the great designers of our Digital Trends our holiday gift guide, which is out right now, digitaltrends.com. Check out the amazing artwork on there. And then Ian Williams, Deadstock Coffee, here from Portland, Oregon, now in Tokyo, and in Tokyo for his pop-up, giving us some great insight on what's going on over there. And apparently I'm getting something from a vending machine that's coming back to me. So all of that is happening. And again, you get to enjoy it live every day. We're here every weekday. We've got lots more at digitaltrends.com coming up later today, live at 2:30 p.m. Pacific, 5:30 p.m. We'll have Trends with Benefits, a Roundtable Tech podcast where we kind of go in depth a little more about some of the topics that we bring up throughout the week. So you can hop in for that. And I think that's about it for today. It's been a fantastic show. Thanks for being here with us. I'm not sure if we're closing out with Ian or where we're going there, but I will say this. I will see you all tomorrow with more Digital Trends Live.